Welcome to Wealth Coffee Chats, folks, for your daily live updates. Get the most out of today's episode by participating in the chat. Make sure you ask some questions, be part of the conversation, have a bit of fun, grab a coffee or a tea, take some notes, and get ready to start your day, folks. Quick few housekeeping rules, though. No spamming, no advertising or self-promotion in the chat. That's not on. Be kind and respectful to everyone when participating. And most of all, have a good time. Real estate investing can be your biggest asset. It also can be your most expensive asset when it comes to getting it right or getting it wrong, folks. It can be time-consuming, stressful, and that's why here at Positive, we have what's called a 6-star team, a full-service team that provides integrated wealth and property investing solutions and services simply designed to help you progress towards your goal of passive income through your property portfolio, folks. Make sure you check out our other podcasts on the Positive Mentor Network. Not only is there Wealth Coffee Chats, there's the Urban Property Investor. Drops every Wednesday with straight talking investing strategies and lessons with Sam Saggers. Property Investor Tales. This is where our clients, you guys, share real life stories from property investing, hosted by some of our advisors and strategists. And that's done every fortnight, dropping every Monday. Wealth, Wine and Wisdom, folks, that debriefs the week that was in the world of finance and property, hosted by yours truly, Jason Witten and Andy Fenton on Fridays. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chats. Marvellous Monday. Hope you're well, folks, wherever you are. If you think it's Get Rich Quick, you're in the wrong place. This is the wrong podcast. This is the wrong live for you. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Hope you're all awesome and well. Hello, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Jason here. Welcome to Wealth Coffee Chats. Hope you're charging along on a thankful Thursday. Thanks for joining us today as things get a little bit warmed up. Always do the intros and have a little chit-chat before we get into it today. But if you're new around here, if you don't know, Jason Witten's my name. This is where we do a little bit of a conversation about property investing, maybe investing in general, wealth in general. And it's called Wealth Coffee Chat. So welcome along. If you're brand new, that's what's happening right here on the show. For about 15 or 20 minutes each day, each weekday, we get together and have a little conversation and try and stay up to date with things that are going on. My world of property investing, I've been investing over 25 years, helping property investors just like you through Australia and New Zealand purchase and keep properties for over 21 years in our business, Positive Real Estate. So what I get a chance to do is share some of those lessons, those things that I've learned as a property investor myself and helping other property investors achieve what they want to achieve. So welcome along. Fantastic to have you here. And if you are here, give us a bit of a shout out in the chat. If you're new, great to hear from you as well. There's Luke in the house. Hey, Luke. Good to see you, mate. Fantastic to have you here today. I did miss out the other day on Tuesday. I was down in Melbourne hanging out with Andy Fenton. And we did a bit of stuff down there. We did a seminar, a webinar really, for business owners. And we had a fair few people online the other day. So I didn't get a chance to hang out with you guys on Tuesday. But good to see you, Luke. Joe's here this morning as well. And good to see a few on this morning. But give us a shout out in the chat. Say hello if you're new. Even if you're not new, say hello. It's always good to hear from you. Anyway, today I thought we might talk about what I see as the three things we need to master when it comes to the idea of wealth. Into the future, all of us, especially when it comes to property investing or property investors, we need to understand a few things. And there's kind of three sections to this idea, three pieces to the puzzle when it comes to the world of wealth, folks. And I put them in this order because for most of us, we need to master one before the other. Now, and actually, that's not true. You need to understand each one, and so one leads to the others, which leads to the others. But anyway, you can do them in reverse and try and fix them up as you go along. Anyway,
let's just crack on with it today. There are three parts to this puzzle when it comes to wealth creation. Certainly in the world of property investing, the idea that, we need to master a number of these things. What happens for most of us, though, when we start out in life, is that we go along and we find that we have to go to school or get some sort of education, right? Then we go back and, all of us have done something, and whether we finished in year 10 and got a trade, whether we went through to university and studied, we all are encouraged to educate ourselves and learn and create something. And in the beginning of the world of money and earning and wealth and bits and pieces, what's the first thing that happens when it comes to, the majority of Australians? We go out and get a job, and the first thing that we do, folks, maybe play along in the chat. There's Joe. He's in the Intercontinental. There you go. Yeah, go the Storm. I'm a bit of I'm a Broncos fan, Joe. A bit sad about Broncos this year, but I'm backing the Storm because I want someone to beat Penrith. Penrith is just too good. But anyway, I better not talk about the rugby or I might get in trouble. But listen, in the chat, and if you're there, what happens when you get your first job? What is usually the first financial thing most people do in life when they get their first job and they earn and they're able to, have some sort of financial independence? Folks, chuck that in the chat for me. What do they do? And it's the first thing. So go to the Storm. That's awesome, Adrian. What's usually the first thing that we go and do? So the first thing that most people go and do is they get some sort of debt. Okay, most Aussies, we get a tax file number, dead right, and then we end up having to pay tax. The first thing we usually do with our money is we usually go and get a debt, a car loan, a furniture loan. We might even go rent somewhere, get a lease. You might be lucky enough to buy a property. All of those sorts of things. That's what happens when it comes to this world of, of mastery, when it comes to this sort of stuff. The second thing that most of us don't understand or don't realize that we get exposed to, and if we want to sort of understand and create some wealth, the second thing that we need to sort of, master is the understanding of what I would call, tax structures, right? Tax structures. And Roman put it in there. You go, right, let's go get a tax file number. The tax file number is basically welcome to the world of grown-ups. Welcome to the real world, folks. Now you've got the right to contribute to the country, which is perfectly fine. I think that's fair. How it's calculated, as far as I'm concerned, I think is a bit of leaves a bit to be desired. However, we live in this country, we've got to contribute, we go to work, and we pay our taxes, right? Now, what most people don't realize is that you as a person are a tax structure, okay? So, we get access to debt, right? That's what happens. Is there any education about debt? No, there's no education. It's kind of like, debt is bad, but go and get a car loan. I saw the other day, was it $78 billion worth of $78 billion worth of HECS debt in this country. People go to university, run up a debt, can't get a job, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, right? So debt, tax structures. You are a tax structure. Are you going to be the only tax structure that you need to understand for the rest of your life? Question mark. All right. We've got to have a think about this, folks, right? And last but not least, in the world of wealth mastery, wealth in your future, you need to understand the world of assets, okay? The world of assets. We need to master these three things to move forward when it comes to our world, right? Debt, tax structures, and assets. There's three parts to each of these bits that, we need to understand. So those are the three in the world of debt mastery. So let's just talk about debt. Let's talk about debt, the three parts to debt that we need to understand. The first part when it comes to our wealth mastery is in the debt world, okay, is debt elimination. Debt eliminate, right? Now, most of us are taught to debt accumulate, all right, but let's do this. Let's do bad debt eliminate, okay? Or maybe even avoid bad debt. Folks, credit cards, car loans, all of those things have a significant impact on our ability to borrow to buy assets, which is the last one, right? We want to understand how can we buy assets. Well, we need to make sure we look good to the lenders, right? Bad debt eliminate. Eliminate. Anyway, there you go. I'm pretty sure you get the picture. That's eliminate. So, number one, in debt mastery, you need to understand how to bad debt eliminate. Do you know how to calculate how to pay debts off faster? Preferably, don't go into bad debt to begin with. Like I said, credit cards, terrible idea. What do we get taught? I hear this often in my travels. Oh, you know what you should do? As soon as you sort of get a job, go get a credit card because then you can get a what? Who's heard this? Put it in the chat, right? Who's heard this? Go get a credit card and then you'll get a what? Put that in the chat. While I have a little sip of my coffee, because it's bullshit. It's complete lie. This idea, this thought, right? You know what? Go get a credit card. Yeah, you can get a loan, and if you get a loan, which is a credit card, you get a credit score, right? Yeah, credit rating. Boom. Exactly, Brad. Yeah. Complete bullshit. Complete bullshit. Complete lie, folks. Nobody. Yep, that's right. Okay. No, you don't need a damn credit card to get a good rating, right? And this is the thing, right? So don't tell your children that. It's bullshit. We don't need credit cards. Avoid bad debt if possible, and make sure we understand what that looks like. Now, bad debt eliminate. Good debt maximize. Because as much as I give the banks and the lenders a hard time, and they damn well deserve it, you need them. You need them. Unless you've got a lot of cash under your pillow, you need to understand how to maximize the borrowing of good debt. And what is good debt? Well, good debt creates an income. Good debt buys an asset that goes up in value, not down in value, okay, over the long term. Everything goes up and down in the short term, ebbs and flows. And ultimately, it's great if that asset, that debt can have some sort of tax deductibility if you need that in your space or place, right? So get rid of the bad debt, maximize the good debt, okay? Bad debt down, good debt up, happy days. And then we need to understand how to have a lifetime of equity access, right? Right, equity access. So this is a debt maneuver. Once you've got a lot of property or a lot of value, what happens is the banks will, your value of your properties go from $1 million to $2 million to $3 million to $4 million to $5 million, and your debt goes from, 1 million. You got assets of 1 million, you got debts of 800, assets of 2 million, debts of 1.6, assets of 3 million, debts of 2 million or whatever. So the debt goes down compared to the asset value, and you've got to have lifetime access to your equity. Understand how, getting rid of bad debts, maximizing good debts so you can buy more assets, but setting up structures, lending structures to access debt for lifetime, folks. And this is pretty important to understand as we go along. Why do we need that? Well, there's a bit of talk about this getting rid of negative gearing and getting rid of capital growth, capital gains tax, or increasing capital gains tax to make it, pay capital gains tax on 100% of the gain. If they did that, the 100% of the gain, people wouldn't sell the damn property. So you've got to have lifetime access to the equity. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Stay on track, Jason. Stay on track. All right. So debt mastery. Okay. What's the second one? The second one was tax structures. Tax structures, right? Okay. Now, there's three tax structures. That we need to understand, okay? And I might not have time to dive deep into these today, but there's the world of you as an individual. A person, right? A person has an individual tax structure, tax percentages, tax treatments. You can get negative gearing as an individual. Can you get a tax deduction for this or that or the other? You need to understand the tax structure, right? And the personal tax structure can go from 0% tax to 47% tax. 0 to 47, holy shitballs, right? Okay, individual, okay, as a person. What's another tax structure, folks? And I'm going to they're kind of the same, but, so you go companies and trusts, okay? So companies and trusts. A person, a company, or a trust. Now, there's a bunch of versions of all of this, right? Now, a company tax rate can be 25% to 30%, depending on what it is, right? And does anyone know what a trust tax rate is? And it depends on how they're structured, but anyway, put it in there if you know. The trust tax rate, if you leave the money in the trust, is 47%. So trusts have to flow through. So we need to understand how to master the maneuvers of this. Actually, over here, there's a special company trust structure on this side that has a 15% income tax. This is just income tax, by the way. Capital gains tax is different. Anyone know what the special company trust combination for low tax is? What we call that one is over there? Does anyone know that? 15% to 47%. Anyone know? Yeah, boom. That's right. A super fund. That's right, Nintendo. All right. So how do you do it, right? So if you earn money as an individual, you earn money, can you flow that money around this circle? And as it goes around, it drops into low or no tax spaces into the future, okay? So, what's a no tax space here as a person? Well, your principal place of residence, your PPR, you pay zero capital gains tax on. So I'm a big fan of understand that, right? So there's the three pieces for tax structures. And the last bit over here is assets, right? Assets. The three versions of assets. What are the three asset classes, team? Well, pretty easy. In this sort of section, we'll call it a property, the share market, and business. And technically, the share market is business sometimes, but for us as individuals, this is really the thing. Invest in some property, invest in some shares, invest in a business, start a business, or invest in a small business that you know. Okay, so what do we understand here? What percentage of our wealth will be in these assets, and how do we use those assets in certain ways to create the outcome that we want as an investor into the future? I'm a massive fan of property, so 80% of my wealth is in property. Okay, I've got shares and I've got businesses. And matter of fact, my businesses now are starting to grow pretty significantly compared to my property portfolio as we're going along. So that's been good. But to begin with, property was the main stuff for me, right? So hopefully that made sense today. There's three parts to this idea of wealth mastery, and we need to make sure we know what they are and how to navigate around those things, right? Debt, navigate the three parts of debt, navigate tax structures, it doesn't matter who you are, whether you're PAYG employed, whether you are a business owner, whether you're an investor, tax structures are vital to understand because you've got access, understanding the education of the tax structures and how you use them is vital for you to be able to reduce the amount of tax you pay and keep a bit more money than those who don't understand them, right? And assets, property, shares, business. I'm a big fan of having investments in all places and spaces, but I prefer to be, for me, very invested into assets that I know and love and understand, which is property. Anyway, there you go. Hope that made sense today, folks. That's it. Wealth Coffee Chat done and dusted for today. So join us again tomorrow. I do know that the finance team are up tomorrow. Yesterday was the property management team. Tomorrow will be the finance team, and they'll probably talk about a few things. And I'm sure it'll be Kang from the lending team specialists that might share a little bit of wisdom about borrowing and how to get it done. Anyway, folks, there you go. That's it from me today. Take care. Be good. Bye for now. See you on Monday, actually, for me. Anyway, there you go. Bye-bye.
Episode of Wealth Coffee Chat, folks. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you never miss a thing when we go live. Improve your portfolio and investing game, folks, with Wealth Coffee Chats live every morning at 8:10 each weekday. Make sure you join us. Previous episodes